Hey everyone, I am back to where it all started for me. I'm here at Summerlees. It's a lovely evening. It's definitely getting colder. We're just at the end of October, so we've got a lot of winter migrants that have come in, and for that I'm excited. More birds and new things for us to see, right? But I just want to have a little chat today about what I've learned over my first 3 to 4 months of wildlife photography. Initially, I did think it'd be a case of you pick up a camera and you go, right? Seems that easy. So I picked up a nice cheap camera, Canon R100, came with 2 lenses. That was great. Turns out, photography is not as easy as you think. Yeah, you can pick up and just click, but if you want to get the best out of it and you want to enjoy it the most, then there's some changes you've got to make to yourself. So looked on other settings on other creators on YouTube, how to set up manual so I can have more control over my shots. That was the first thing I did. But importantly, also upgraded my lens. Only because of the stuff I want to cover. I like a lot of birds, especially the smaller birds. And the 300mm definitely wasn't cutting it, wasn't big enough for me. Currently got a 400mm and an 800mm. The 800, not the greatest, I'll be entirely honest, just because unless there is lots of light, it's not really picking up anything. But one of the first things I do want to say that will be good for anyone starting their journey, and one thing that I've learned starting on my journey, is definitely start listening to others and what they say. A lot of people that have been in the hobby for a long time, and they have a lot of great information. In fact, I can attribute a couple of things I've seen due to listening. First and foremost, gentleman here at Summerlees helped me see my first glossy ibis, pointed out exactly where it should be, which was great, right? Sorry, I'm just struggling with a fence randomly. But yeah, another gentleman led me to where I could see my first mandarin duck, something I really wanted to see. And I got some great shots, and eventually did get some great shots of males as well. And from there, that was it. The excitement just grew and grew and grew. But also, these gentlemen will actually help you in regards to not only where things are, but also help you in setting up your camera, how to use things quickly. So make sure you use that information. That is the number one tip for me. The next biggest thing is don't expect to find something every single time that you want to. Something that was quite humbling for me at the beginning. I would say my first couple of times out doing photography, everything was new, right? So it was all great. And then you start trying to find some target species because you want to photo them because they're gorgeous, right? We all know my nemesis bird is the bullfinch. And I really want to photo one. But guess what? I haven't seen one. And unfortunately, they're not doing well at the moment and they're not having a great time. But it's been very humbling to actually not get it, I suppose, because I expected to find it quite early on, right? And I thought, oh, it'd be a nice video to make. And it still hasn't happened. But that's fine. I think eventually when I do get my first bullfinch, it's going to be a great moment, and it's going to be that next pivotal moment for me. Recently, I got my first nuthatch, which I was grateful to see. Gorgeous birds, by the way. And my first kingfisher. And the quality of the kingfisher wasn't the greatest, but nevertheless, it was still my first kingfisher, right? It's not something that I could show off on display or anything like that, but still, it's my first kingfisher. And that's fine too. Just learning a bit your field craft and learning where to see certain birds, times of day, when to keep your mouth quiet, and where to start looking out for, and you start listening out for noises. And I think that's something you have to learn over time. It's not something you can just pick up straight away. You do have to spend time doing a bit of research. Of course, you might just get lucky. I didn't get lucky straight away. I would say I probably put in about 60 hours worth of work to get my first kingfisher. I know people have seen them first time. And it was one of those experiences for me. I took my mum with me. She wanted to come out bird watching. I mean, within literally 2 minutes of being sat down, kingfisher was there. So mum, if you are watching this, you're my good luck token. So keep that going. I'll have to bring you along for more. But yeah, that was super humbling for me. The thing I have learned is patience. Patience doesn't come easy for me. Standing in queues, things like that, not for me. I want things now. However, with wildlife, that doesn't happen. I have spent hours and hours in a hide just trying to see something cool and see something different, or just trying to get the shot that I want. And you know what? I feel like I've got some good shots now. And I'm sure they will get better, especially as I have upgraded camera-wise now. I know, crazy, right? It's an expensive hobby. And I still want to upgrade on my lenses because I know that I can do better and I want to do better. That's not saying that you can't just do better anyway. And that's another thing, right? It's not just the equipment. You can't blame it all the time. Sometimes it's myself not being great at my settings, not setting the shutter speed correctly, especially when you catch birds in flight. You want a much higher shutter speed setting, depending on the bird itself. You want to get, anywhere 2,500 to 4,000 frames per second. That helps massively. And that just takes practice. So finding a small hide somewhere where there's lots of birds in flight, it's a great place to practice. When you're new to photography, you're going to hear ISO quite a lot. And you don't need to be afraid of high ISO at all. Obviously, ISO being lower is great, but I have pushed it. And you can still get great photos. It's all down to how you frame things. It's all down to other settings as well, so your shutter speed. As I said, birds in flight, you want it higher. Birds that, your ducks you can have it much lower. But ISO is not the be all and end all. And I want people to know that. I'm not going to give you the ins and outs how it all works because, A, I'm still a beginner and I can still be getting it wrong, right? I'm sure there's still so much improvement that I've got in me. But I'm just here right now. It's absolutely lovely. Loads of widget out here today. Lovely birds, by the way. Just love taking it in. One thing I do want to point out is knowing your ethics. You want to photograph these animals in their natural environment. You can't go around poking your head around stuff. You can't just pull things out of the way. You can't just go and scare animals because A, it's not right, and B, you're sort of cheating yourself out in learning the craft, right? It's all about doing things in the right way. I just want people to bear that in mind. Also, that with regards to that, have respect when you're in bird hides. If there's kids in there making a noise, it's fine. If there's people who are completely new and asking loads of questions and not being completely quiet, it's fine. It's not just for photographers, it's for everyone to enjoy, right? And just being there, being a bit more patient, spend a bit more time, you might ignite a spark in someone and get them interested as well. But it could lead to interest in other areas which could be helpful, such things like conservation, things like that. So just bear that in mind, yeah? And on things like respect, you do need to be aware that for certain animals, like owls especially, people don't want to disclose the locations of where they've seen them. And good reason for all that. It's not just because they don't like you or want to keep it to themselves, is wildlife is very sensitive. And in a lot of cases, it's not doing great here in the UK. There's a lot of birds, especially, being added to the red list. And we do need to protect the animals that we've got. And we need to respect the privacy of these animals. So if you see them, that's great. I myself am yet to be able to photograph an owl. I would love to. But at the same time, if someone's not comfortable disclosing the location, I totally get it. That's fine. End of the day, as I said, the animals themselves, they come first. As I'm saying that, there's some jays up around me. Notoriously, jays can be a pain to actually photo. But as you can hear, they're also really noisy. So if you're new to bird watching and you want to spot a jay, you can probably hear it first. But last, and most important, just enjoy yourself. There's no point getting into a hobby and getting completely stressed about it. It's there for relaxation, enjoyment, to learn a new craft. So take that in, enjoy it. I'm sure eventually you'll get the shots that you want. But I do want to say to those that are watching, I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the support I've had so far. I'm really happy with how things have gone. But if you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate if you would. It helps me out immensely and it keeps me going. Next week video is going to be probably a little bit later. I'm off abroad to Lanzarote, and guess what? We're doing some birding, and I'll be taking you along with me. So drop me in the comments below what bird you think I should try and find. Anyway, until next time.